Alright guys, so just like the previous video, this one is going to be what non-comic characters could bond with the Carnage symbiote. I've been kind of on a Carnage kick because I've been reading the Ram V Carnage comics, and for this one it's going to be a little different because I've got only 3 picks, and they each kind of have like a pros and cons to each of them. But we're going to go by levels as to pros, as to why I think they would be good candidates for Carnage, and others for not. So we're going to kick things off with my first pick, and that's Tyrion from RWBY. Tyrion is a psychotic assassin killer who has a pretty big body count to his name, according to some of the lore. Tyrion is dangerous, he's incredibly insane, and he's absolutely someone you don't want to mess with. And if you give him the Carnage symbiote, he would be just an absolute monster. Now, while he does sound in theory a good candidate, I do think there's some cons as to why the symbiote would reject him. The first and foremost being, he's absolutely devoted to Salem. His absolute devotion to Salem would kind of like drop things off for him of why the... Oh yeah, the symbiote would just like be, at first be like, ooh, this guy's a lot like Cletus. He's he's a psychotic killer. He doesn't really have like a rhyme or reason. He just, there's killing there. But then when it gets to Salem, when we get to talking about Salem, it's like the symbiote would have this moment of, oh, you're just a dog for someone else. You're just someone else's pet mutt. Like, that's really what it would be like, is that the symbiote would just have this level of disgust because, like, it had been Cletus's pet for so long. We find out in the Carnage comics that, yeah, the Carnage symbiote, while it had some adoration for Cletus, it had some... It wanted to be its own symbiote. Like, it wanted to be its own thing. And I think it would look at Tyrion and be like, at first, be like, ooh, I like this guy. But then, when he really, like, sees him, like, really when he sees Cletus, there is gonna be this moment of, there is just this moment that, when he's not sees Cletus, when he sees Tyrion and sees his devotion to Salem, there's just gonna be this moment of, oh, you're just me when I was with Cletus. Ew. So, yeah, so that's our first one. That's, I guess you could say, the bottom of this pick. Second one, Junco Inoshima. I think Junco would be... Obviously, she has a body count in the millions. Junco is also a pretty good fighter. She's also absolutely devious. And I think the symbiote would really be impressed by that kind of thought process of absolute despair. Like, we're not just killing people, we want to break them down emotionally. We want to get the old despair train a-rolling, and we're gonna... This despair train don't stop until everyone's feeling shitty. That's what I think the symbiote would be attracted by, is just this kind of level of devastation and fear that Junco could unleash, that kind of level of just absolute horror that she can have, and that psychological warfare, that kind of, also that level of just tenacity and savagery that she has in her system. She is someone you just don't want to fuck with. And also that kind of dark brilliance to her mind would be something Carnage would also just be impressed by. But there is a bit of a problem, is that she's a little too... that Junco... A few reasons why I don't think the symbiote would... Like, while the symbiote, I think, would like to bond with Junco, there would be some problems with that. One, Junco is a little too artsy. She's a little too artsy for the symbiote's taste. While the Carnage symbiote likes to just get shit done and make a beautiful mess of things. Junco's a little too artsy in her kills. And... it'd be kind of like Joker when they met Carnage, where it'd be like, ugh, how gauche. And also, Junco's beliefs in despair is a lot different from Carnage's, I'm just going to kill everyone and wallow in rain and blood. It's a little, that kind of thought process would be a little different. But I do think that she would make. I think the Carnage symbiote would like to bond with her. Also, Junco Carnage. Why isn't there fan art of that? That would be amazing. So you're probably thinking, well, Tyrion and Junco would make interesting, hosts for the symbiote, and they have their own cons. But who's the best one? You said you had so who's our number 3 pick? That's easy. My number 3 pick for this whole thing is none other than Lad Russo from Baccano. Why Lad? Why Lad Russo? Lad Russo is Cletus Cassidy if he was a gangster. He is this philosophy of I am unkillable, I will kill everything in this world, and no one will stop me. There's just this philosophy of just kill everything, even if it might kill you, and kind of be like god of killing in a way, almost have this thought process of there is nothing on this fucking planet that can stop me, and and just have a good laugh while I'm at it. And I think the Carnage symbiote would be impressed by that. I think the symbiote would like to just have a host like that, where it could have someone who has that kind of dark mindset where it's I don't know where this bloody road's going, but oh boy, it's going to be fun. So I really do think, out of the 3 I mentioned, I think if this was like a bloody version of The Bachelorette, the Carnage symbiote would be well, ladies and gentlemen, I've had a lot of thought to think. I've had a lot of time to think about this, but Lad, I want you to be my host. So yeah, keep in mind, Tyrion, Lad, and Junco with the Carnage symbiote would be nothing short of horrifying. But of the 3, I think Lad is the most capable candidate to be the host of a Carnage symbiote. So yeah, but you guys tell me in the comments below, what characters could you see as hosts for the Carnage symbiote? Just comment below, let me know. Once again, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.